It's not the job of the World Trade Organization to handle Iraq's currency exchange rate. That's not what they're there for. It's called the World Trade Organization, not the World Exchange Rate Organization. We heard this week that al-Sudani again told the citizens that they can expect a new currency, and so we know it's not more of the 3-0 denominations, since the CBI told us they are not going to issue the 20k note or any more other of these notes along this line. So what could this mean? It can only mean fresh new notes of lower denominations reverting back to the currency denominations of the past and finally ditching these 3-0 notes. Minister of Trade arrives in Geneva to head the negotiating team for Iraq's accession to the World Trade Organization. That video is huge. They are educating the people about the deletion of the zeros project. The zeros will come off the exchange rate, which changes the value, and then at the same time inside Iraq new notes are released without the 3 zeros. It is that simple. Your notes outside Iraq remain the same and you can exchange them after the happens. Here's the video below. Do you see a 50,000 Iraqi note? Do you see the 3 zeros have been slashed off the 50,000 note? Isn't that wonderful? Educating the citizens. Those of you who understand Arabic enjoy. Woohoo! It's not a secret anymore. Everybody knows. It's from the Saudi Arabia area. Quote, the project to delete zeros from the currency is still in place. It was confirmed by the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq. It means the value of 1,000 note is 1,000 dinars and will be replaced by a note worth 1 dinar of the new currency. This is going to be a huge week. Meetings are going on right now in Iraq about the HCL, the WTO, and more. This is going to be a big, interesting week for all of us. What will happen in the coming days with the monetary reform? Value. Notice how everything is lining up for the monetary reform. That's how you know it's not BS. Question about Guru Frank 26 tax post 7152024 below. I specifically asked last year, did we have to have receipts of when we purchased dinar? I was told no, we did not. Now, Frank says yes, you're going to pay taxes. That's why it's important to have a receipt. Please let me in on what is going on. Need receipts or not? IMO receipts aren't needed for the exchange transaction itself. But when you do your taxes, I believe there's a very good chance that the IRS would want to know the dates on which you purchased your currency in order to determine whether it falls into long-term capital gains or short-term capital gains for tax purposes. Member of the State of Law Coalition Ahmed al-Sudani described, on Wednesday, the keenness of the American combat forces on Iraq's security as a lie. Al-Sudani said in a statement to Al-Maluma agency that, we reject any long-term presence of American forces in Iraq, indicating that the presence of these combat forces violates the parliament's decision to expel them. He added that foreign forces cannot continue to be present inside Iraq, especially since the previous parliament had its say and voted to expel them, explaining that there is a popular and political rejection of the presence of any foreign forces on Iraqi territory, most notably the American military presence. He added that Washington's talk about its keenness on Iraq's security is a big lie and its efforts were aimed at keeping the country weak and within the range of crises, most of which are of its own making, noting that the expulsion of American forces is an important option that cannot be reversed. Most Iraqi political forces issued their support for the Prime Minister regarding the steps to expel American forces from Iraq after a series of attacks against Iraqi security forces. The leader of the Hazm Alliance, Dari al-Dulaimi, expected, on Wednesday, to resolve the crisis of electing a new Speaker of the House of Representatives next week, stressing that the election session will witness competition between al-Asawi and al-Mashadani. Al-Dulaimi said in a statement to Al-Maluma agency that the determination of the forces of the coordination framework for Sunni political forces of the 20th of this current month as the final date to resolve the crisis of the position of Speaker of Parliament is serious, indicating that the Sunni forces competing for the position have not reached an agreement on a specific figure and that the competition will remain between the two representatives, Mahmoud al-Mashadani and Salem al-Asawi. He added that the date set by the coordination framework will certainly be binding on everyone, including the Speaker of Parliament, expecting to hold a session to elect a new Speaker of the House of Representatives during one of the Parliament sessions next week. The framework had set the 20th of this current month as the final date and last opportunity for the Sunni component to choose a candidate for the position during its last regular meeting.